5 biggest financial frauds in history. History is full of scams and frauds that removed billions of dollars from the pockets of investors and destroyed entire economies. This post contains some of the most memorable. Here are 5 biggest financial frauds in history. Wells Fargo. The book on this alleged fraud case is still being written. First, the large American bank got caught with millions of fake accounts in an instance of employees trying to meet quotas through cross-selling. Now, Wells Fargo is under fire for improperly handling fraud cases because it closed many of the accounts in question instead of performing the legally mandated investigation. The bank settled with regulators to pay a fine of $1 billion to be split by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. Theranos. Elizabeth Holmes promised to change the world of medicine with new technology and lured investors like Henry Kissinger and James Madoff and a partnership with Walgreens. Holmes performed demonstrations using other companies' technology while claiming it was the work of Theranos. The SEC charged Holmes with lying to create more than $700 million for Theranos in outside investments. Holmes reached a settlement and agreed to pay a $500,000 fine, hand over 19 million shares of the company, and is not allowed to be an officer of a public company for 10 years. Charles Ponzi. The Italian-born immigrant created such an uproar over his crimes that any investment fraud or pyramid scheme committed bears his name. From 1918 to 1920, Ponzi ran a large-scale international trading scheme involving reply coupons on mail stamps. At one point, Ponzi was making $250,000 a day in post-First World War Boston but ended up owing $7 million and was charged with 86 counts of mail fraud. Bernie Madoff. Madoff is currently serving a sentence of 150 years in federal prison for securities fraud. He was a well-respected investor until it was learned that he was operating a Ponzi scheme that lost a record $65 billion for his investors. Madoff was turned into authorities by his 2 sons in 2008. Jordan Belfort. 11 years after portraying Abagnale, DiCaprio took on another real-life crook in The Wolf of Wall Street. The money-hungry Jordan Belfort spent 22 months in prison for securities fraud and money laundering and is working on paying back defrauded investors. Financial fraud is a serious white-collar crime that often comes with heavy punishment and fines, but the details of the misdeeds can be stranger than fiction. Financial fraud isn't new, and the extent of the crime can vary significantly. In some cases, billions of dollars are lost and companies end up bankrupt. Most cases have at least one person, but often a group of fraudsters, going to prison.